What started as an ordinary tech summit in Washington, D.C., turned into one of the most shocking media firestorms of the year. The event had been widely publicized as a high-level gathering of industry leaders, innovators, and select political figures to discuss the intersection of technology and government transparency. The venue was sleek, the invite list exclusive, and the expectations relatively standard, but no one could have predicted the chaos that would follow when Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, and one of the most talked about figures on the planet, stepped onto the stage not alone but side by side with Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. The crowd buzzed with confusion and curiosity. Cameras locked onto the duo as they strode confidently toward the podium, holding a manila folder between them labeled simply FLOTUS files. The media, influencers, and even politicians in the crowd collectively leaned forward, trying to grasp what was unfolding in front of them. Jasmine Crockett, known for her fiery speeches and unapologetic stance on truth and justice, took the microphone first. Her presence alone commanded attention. Dressed sharply, she looked out at the crowd and began with calm, deliberate words. "We're here today because the American people deserve the truth. Too much has been hidden for too long." Behind her, the large LED screen lit up with the seal of the First Lady's office, flickering before revealing a shadowed image of Melania Trump. People gasped audibly. No one expected Melania to be the subject of the conference. No one expected what was about to happen. Then Elon Musk spoke, usually known for speaking off the cuff. This time he was measured, serious, and visibly focused. "I came here today not as a CEO, not as a businessman, but as a citizen of a democratic society," he said. "We've uncovered a chain of information that should have been public long ago. Documents, communications, and financial transactions that raise major questions about honesty, integrity, and influence at the highest levels of our former government." As Elon spoke, the screen transitioned to a digital folder titled Confidential Communications. The contents were shocking. There were emails written by Melania Trump to unknown foreign contacts, dating as far back as 2017. One of the most jarring messages, dated October 2019, read, "He doesn't listen to me anymore. This isn't about the country, it's about revenge. I don't want to be part of it." The sender, Melania Nostrom. The room fell into stunned silence. Jasmine slowly read the email out loud, her voice calm but razor sharp. "He doesn't listen to me anymore." That one sentence hit like a thunderclap. Suddenly, the speculation about Melania's quiet demeanor and rare public appearances during Trump's presidency began to look very different. Elon followed up by revealing transaction records tied to offshore accounts, large sums of money moved discreetly through intermediaries, some of which appeared to be routed through organizations in Eastern Europe. These weren't typical financial disclosures. These were transfers marked as private donation, family security fund, at, most suspiciously, public relations maintenance. The implication was clear: someone was funding a silence. Someone was protecting something big. In the audience, just dropped. Phones lit up as attendees live tweeted what they were seeing. Hashtags like Flotus Leaks, Crockett Files, and Musk Melania scandal trended within minutes. Meanwhile, inside Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump was watching the live broadcast. Sources close to the former president later confirmed that he became visibly agitated the moment Jasmine appeared on screen. But when Elon began revealing what they had found, Trump reportedly exploded with rage. He began yelling at aides, accusing them of letting this happen, demanding to know who let the tech lunatic team up with a radical congresswoman. When Melania's personal emails were displayed on the screen, Trump allegedly screamed, "She told me they were gone. This is fake. This has to be fake." He stormed out of the room, smashing a vase in the process and throwing a phone across the hallway. It was clear he had lost control. Back at the summit, Elon explained how they had obtained the documents. "These were not hacked. These were delivered to us by a brave individual who served in the White House, someone who believed the truth should not be kept in the dark." The whistleblower, whose identity was still concealed, had come forward weeks earlier with encrypted hard drives filled with information never before seen by the public. Jasmine clarified that before making any of this public, the files were verified by independent digital forensic analysts. Multiple experts cross-examined the data for authenticity. Every email, every memo, every transaction was real. Then came the turning point moment when Jasmine displayed a private voice note, allegedly recorded by Melania herself. In the audio, a woman speaking with a heavy Eastern European accent, clearly upset, says, "They use me. They make me smile for camera. But inside, I don't want to be part of this show. "I'm not puppet." The voice note caused a media explosion. Not only did it humanize Melania in an unexpected way, but it also validated years of speculation that she had grown increasingly isolated and frustrated during her time in the White House. It was the kind of behind-the-scenes truth the public rarely hears. Yet what made it even more powerful was who was delivering it: Jasmine Crockett, an unapologetic black congresswoman, and Elon Musk, the world's most unpredictable billionaire. Together, their alliance sent a shockwave through both political and corporate spheres. That evening, Melania's spokesperson released a terse, two-sentence statement. "The claims made today are fabrications. Mrs. Trump will not participate in this political theater." But analysts and reporters quickly pointed out that the documents presented were authentic timestamps, logs, and even personal notes in handwriting that matched Melania's past records. One journalist from the Washington Post tweeted, "If this is fake, then it's the most elaborate fake we've ever seen. The detail is overwhelming. The metadata checks out." The White House remained silent, but Trump was anything but. He took to Truth Social and exploded in an all-caps tirade. "Crockett is a fraud. Elon is a traitor. This is a hit job. Fake documents, fake emails, fake voice."
But his posts only added fuel to the fire. Jasmine replied with one single tweet, "You can scream all you want, but the documents won't disappear." The internet ate it up. Her followers surged into the millions. Memes spread like wildfire: Elon and Jasmine as truth warriors, Trump as a crumbling tyrant, and Melania as the silent queen whose truth had finally slipped out. It wasn't just a political story anymore. It had become a cultural moment. That same week, CNN held a special 2-hour segment titled Inside the FLOTUS Files. MSNBC ran back-to-back interviews with whistleblower analysts. Even traditionally conservative media outlets had no choice but to cover it. What followed was a domino effect. Congressional leaders from both parties called for an investigation into how such financial transactions and internal communications were hidden from oversight. Jasmine, during an interview on CBS, said, "This isn't about shaming Melania. It's about exposing a system that allowed this to happen and held no one accountable." When asked whether she and Elon planned to release more documents, she smiled and said, "Oh, we're just getting started." The Trump camp tried everything to shift the narrative. They released old footage of Jasmine during a protest, trying to paint her as unhinged. They accused Elon Musk of having ties to foreign governments, an ironic twist, given the allegations in the documents. None of it stuck. In fact, their desperation made the public even more suspicious. Polls showed a steep drop in Trump's approval ratings, especially among moderates and women. Meanwhile, Jasmine's credibility soared. For Elon, the move was risky but ultimately game-changing. No longer viewed just as a tech eccentric, he was now a whistleblower ally, a disruptor of power, and someone who had willingly walked into political fire. In an unexpected twist, several former Trump aides began to speak out. One anonymously told a journalist, "The Melania stuff, yeah, that's been brewing for years. She never liked the spotlight. She never signed up for the madness." Even Trump's own niece, Mary Trump, tweeted, "This is what happens when people stop protecting the lie." Within weeks, Congress opened a bipartisan hearing. Subpoenas were discussed. Jasmine was invited to testify. Elon declined, stating, "My role was to help bring the truth to light. The rest is for democracy to decide." And in the middle of all this, Melania remained silent. She neither confirmed nor denied anything further, but her absence spoke volumes. She was spotted at a private estate in Florida, away from the cameras, away from Trump, and according to some sources, considering a separate legal team. One simple conference, one unexpected partnership, and one truth that refused to stay buried. The American public got a rare glimpse behind the curtain, and what they saw changed the conversation forever. Whether or not justice is served, one thing is certain: the alliance between Elon Musk and Jasmine Crockett shattered the silence and forced the world to reckon with the secrets of power, influence, and betrayal at the very top. And the fallout has only just begun.